Hey everybody, I'll show you a couple projects I'm working on. So it's hot out today. Start the van up, let it start cooling off a little bit. Get the AC going. On maxed. Oh, it looks like Amazon came. My sunglasses. I got to bring the tractor up here and mow this hill. This tree here, I've been weeding. I've been putting fertilizer in the ground around it for couple of years now. It's starting to look a little better. Fertilizer with some, it's like a special fertilizer for trees with some anti-bug stuff in it. So I think it's helping it. Oh. Let's see if this thing will start up. Awkward to put in reverse. Brake. I can hold. There we go. Oh, get my leg over the top of the fuel tank. I have a bad hip, so it's not easy. So let's see here. This is one of the sprinkler control stations, and I had a guy work on it a couple years ago, and he hooked some stuff up wrong, and then when he used this flexible hose here, and it can't handle the pressure, and so it's blown out about 3 times, and I had him come back and fix it a couple times, and this time I'm like, I'm just getting rid of that. And then some other stuff he ran incorrectly, so I'm rerouting it. So I got to run into town and get some more fittings and tubing and some PEX but spent this morning digging this out. Got piles of dirt over there. This is the 4th wheelbarrow out of here. Doesn't look like it, but there's quite a bit of dirt out of here. And then I had him put this box in, and it's crooked, so I want to move that side there a little to the left, and this side here a little to the right, to square it up with the walkway. I like everything nice and square, and it's crooked, so it bugs me. And then eventually I'm planning on putting like a block retaining wall kind of where those boards are. And then I think I'll do pavers all around the box once I get everything put back together and the dirt settles, pack it down, put some gravel on top and some underlayment to go underneath those pavers. We got all the pavers piled up there. So that's what I've been working on this morning. It's hot out too, so it's kind of a lot of work. See if we can get started up here. Get neutral. There's another control station there. There's a control station here, and then there's a control station there, and there's a control station there, and this is just a junction box there, but there's, you see the water spigot, there's stuff all over the place. There's sprinklers over here, up in here, there, in there. Sprinklers in these planter boxes here, there, in there. So yesterday I spent most of the day mowing. And then I put these planter boxes together for Jessica. So I got to square them up. I want to put a snap line or a string line. Just kind of get them square. And then I need to fill them with soil. Got some brush over here to pick up, move to the burn pile. Can I turn around one hand, not tip over? Sprayed all these blackberries on Thursday, I think it was, around here, a lot of them anyways. Crossbow. I got to walk up along the edge up there with a hand sprayer because I can't reach it with the tree wheeler. Still need to come back up and mow the other half of this road. I only mowed half of it. Probably done burning any of these piles for the year because the 15th of June is the last day we can burn, and it's been too hot. I'm nervous without having a fire tanker to do any burning. I'm afraid it could get an ember up in some of these trees, and on a hot day, it's 85 degrees right now, hot day like this, if it got into something like some of those dead branches over there with the needles that are really dry on that tree there, you can see some of the really dry needles, and the ember got in there, I think it'd probably take off, especially if the wind was blowing. So I might back the trailer up in here, the big trailer, and load up some of these piles. I got a lot of that mowed there yesterday. So along here, I want to plant ferns and some rhododendrons and any maybe plants that go with them along through this whole corner. This was all ivy, and I've been spraying it to kill it, and I've killed most of it. There's a few things coming up here and there, and then that up there was just solid blackberries, and I've put the hurt on it, but you can see they're coming back. I I got to walk around down there with the hand sprayer and spray all that. And then I want to plant ferns in here, all along here. So it looks like sword ferns just like this here. All that there, all those ferns. This was all blackberries too, and the ferns are coming back really nice along here. This was all blackberries along here. You can see the ferns are all coming back in. I still have some blackberries to spray down there. I just can't reach them from the road. I have to walk up in there with the hand sprayer. This was all just solid blackberries. And I got this mode. Part of this mode down here, but I still have half of it to finish up mowing. And I wanted to bring the trailer up here and pick up that pile of brush, load it up with the excavator. I need to get down here with the there's some ferns coming in there, looking really good. This was all solid blackberries too. This road wasn't even passable. It was about 8-10 feet tall of blackberries. You can kind of still see a bunch of them. They were growing up into the trees. I cleared all this out with the excavator, and then I've sprayed it several times. But they're persistent, they just come back. But eventually the ferns will come in. Got all those ferns there. So I'm gonna have to probably take these trees out on this corner right here. This used to be a road that went up to the other road. I really don't want to open it up, but I might. I'm still thinking about that. And see the water coming in from the springs. So here's some of the blackberries along here. I got salmonberry. Now there's blackberries there. Salmonberry. I don't want to kill a salmonberry, so I try to avoid the salmonberry and just hit the blackberries. And then there's butterfly bushes over there. There's blackberries coming up there. That tree that's leaning way over right there, I gotta take that one out. That one right there. Birds coming in along here. So I need to get the trailer down here, the big trailer, and walk around with the chainsaw and thin this out a little bit, and then all the down stuff, throw it in the trailer. But there's stuff everywhere. is all leftover trees from the bough harvesting. Got all these piles and a bunch of trees down there. And I got this big mess here to clean up. So a lot of ferns in here, and I don't want to smash them with the excavator, so I think I'm going to have landscaper guys that work for me once in a while. I think I'm going to have them dig these up and transplant them up on the hillside up there on next to the road. So all these ferns around in this area here, we're going to dig them up and transplant them. And then I'm going to bring the big trailer and pickup down this hill. And I think I'll nose the pickup in right here. And then load up all this brush and garbage and trash and haul it down to the burn pile. And then I've got all these steel hoops and steel fence posts everywhere to stack up and get this all cleaned up. I'm not sure what I'll do with this area. They used to have a greenhouse here, but I think I'm just going to clean it up and just kind of probably plant some trees in here and ferns and just make it just forest area. Just get it all nice and cleaned up. This retaining wall is ferns all on there. So this retaining wall is something else. I tell you, they must have spent I don't know how many hours using all these, stacking those on their side to make a retaining wall. But I think I'm going to get the Eco blocks and dig this all out and put in Eco block retaining wall along both sides here. But that'll be a big job. And I'm probably going to need a bigger excavator than my Takeuchi TV260. I don't think it'll be big enough to do all this. So there's the trailer. And I plan on taking that down that road we were just on. I noticed when I was mowing yesterday, the guard fell off, the belt guard, and then I found the guard, and then I found the bolt for it, but the bolt was snapped off, and it snapped off in the welded on nut in here, right there. So I'll probably just cut that nut off and weld a new nut on. And go from there instead of trying to extract the broke off bolt. And I got this running the other day, moved it over here, trying to get it out of the weather, had the starter rebuilt, put it on, and then I discovered, so I'm going to be changing out this bell housing because I'm going to do live hydraulics on this. I left that on. Doing live hydraulics, and so I have the later model M, Super M bell housing, and the clutch is bad on this, so I got to split the tractor, put a new clutch in it, change that bell housing out. And I was like, well, at least the starter's rebuilt. And then I got to looking at the you see the bell housing, there's two big bolts on that starter. And then I was looking at the bell housing the other day, and discovered it's different. 3 bolts. Like, great. So I started looking around, and I did find one 3-bolt flange starter online. And then Auto Battery Electric says they can get one, but they can only get a 6-volt one, and I need a 12-volt. And the parts they need to convert it to 12-volt are not available right now. But I'm not getting to this for a few months, so maybe by the time I get to it and need the starter, the parts to convert it to 12-volt will be available. Need to come down here with a tape measure and do some measuring. I was thinking about putting a new shop right here in this area, but I don't think it's a big enough area for what I want to do. I want to do a 95 or 90 or 100 by 80 shop, and I think 80 deep is going to be too deep. I'd have to take all these trees out right here, probably, and then fill all this. Now there's some good to doing it here, because to run the electric is, the power's right in here somewhere. Comes up the road here, somewhere in this area. So that'd be really handy. My other thought is to put the shop down this way. Up in this area here, above these trees. spring up there. Oh, oh, almost backed into the ditch. Blackberries coming up. Blackberries. This was all as thick as can be. The ferns are coming back in. So thinking about the shop in this area, here, so like 100 feet that way, staying above these trees, and 80 feet that way, and then I would have a lot of dirt moving to do to level it, and then probably have to put a retaining wall up there, and then decide on if I want the doors on both sides or one side or drive through. I think maybe a couple doors drive through and then the rest just on one side, and then decide which side. But what I'm thinking is have the road come around from above up there, circle around, and then tie in with the road I just came in on. This is kind of steep, be a lot of dirt moving. There's a road right here. It's all overgrown, but there's a road right there that goes up to the main road, main driveway. So you could come in there, down through here, and then circle around the upper side of the shop. Going to take some planning if I do it on how to best arrange everything, but we will see. In the meantime, I need to get all these piles hauled out of here. I've tried burning them. It's been too wet. There's too much dirt in there. So I need to bring the big trailer down through here and park it here, transfer all this wood in, and move it down to that other big burn pile. Got all those blackberries up there to spray. They just take over. This was all blackberries through here. shop here, my plan is it's got that little pop-up there, and it's got the roofs dumped down in the middle, which is really a bad design right there. And that fills up with snow, and then it starts leaking into the shop. And then that roof is leaking really bad right there, and I can't get up in that area up there. Well, I was gonna the other day, and I got a ladder in middle there, and I climbed up there and started getting like crawling up over the top of that, and yellow jackets started swarming me from underneath the roof, and I got out of there fast. So there's a bunch of yellow jackets up in there. I really need a boom lift so I can get up there, but what I want to do is put just a whole big roof off the peak of that roof that comes out this way and comes all the way over to the end of this building here, and cover this whole area and enclose it, and just make this paved or put cement here and a couple more bay doors, and probably a bay door right there where that is, or just open that up, maybe even take out that bay door, and then have this all enclosed. So I need to get a contractor out here to look at that and give me a bid on doing that. And then the back of that wall there, I'm gonna need to dig that all out with the excavator, and I think pour just a concrete foundation all the way up to above the dirt back there along the whole back side of the shop. That'll be a pretty big job. So that deck is getting all rotten, but I tear out all this metal stuff and put a foundation in, concrete retaining wall all the way from over past that big boulder there, all the way down the whole side of this, and then waterproof it. And then thought about actually extending the shop out this way and having a drive-through shop right here in this area. Still thinking about that. I kind of like the naturistic area here, so I don't know. And then I thought about having the roof extended, just a big roof all the way out over the top of that grader there, and just make this whole another side of the shop here. One thing at a time. That's all rotten, that deck. It'd be nice if it was all enclosed with a door there just to protect it. Need to get the pressure washer down here and pressure wash these blocks, clean this all up there. That tree right there is really sick, and I've been meaning for a couple years now to like start pouring some some tree saver type fertilizer and anti-bug stuff around it to see if I could save it and get to come back. But the longer I wait, the sicker it looks, and I don't know if it'll make it anyways, even if I do that. So may end up just cutting it down eventually. There's a pretty big one there that'll eventually grow to be as big as that one, and then that one's pretty good size there. So, but it's such a nice big tree. I hate to see it die. I better get to the store, get my stuff I need. Everybody have a good day. Bye.